And at number 6, we have the identical symbolism between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. Not only was the posters of propaganda more or less the same between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union, but also one of these coins, as you can see, with not just the swastika, but of course the hammer and sickle. And of course, it was the Soviet Union that had the swastika before Nazi Germany.
Scotty, I'm at my breaking point. I swear I am. I have read your ideology's documents, such as Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, Ayn Rand's The Virtue of Selfishness, and this a book that works as a selected works from Murray Rothbard, Egalitarianism as a Revolt Against Human Nature. Why can't you do this for any other ideology like I do? Well, actually don't.
I'm no communist, I'll tell you that right now. I believe a man should own his own house and car and cow. I like this private ownership, I want to be left alone. Let the government run its business and let me run my own.
So, you bought 3 books that look brand new. And you bought the 3 books and pretended that you actually read the books. But what you've just done is shot yourself in the foot. Why? Because my followers are capitalist minded. I'm not a big fan of Ayn Rand because I've never read her work, to be perfectly honest with you. Although I'd be quite interested to read what she had to write about, and I'd be quite interested to see what it's all about, you know, this whole thing in objectivism and all the rest of it. You see, I'm an open-minded person, and, you know, 2 of the books were Ayn Rand's. Wow! And then you pointed about Murray Rothbard. But here's the thing. Here's what's laughable. How many people claimed they read Adam Smith? We even had socialists claiming that Adam Smith was socialist. I've seen the nonsense that people have been posting. And what the point that I'm going to make is, just because you read something doesn't mean to say that you understood it. The fact you can't even understand the definition of socialism on the words control or ownership goes to show if you can't comprehend something like that, then what's the chances of you reading anything and comprehending anything that they've stated? That's what's laughable. If someone was to ask the question, someone who has read, in fact, if anyone on my friends list, or, you know, in my subscriptions list, if anyone has read Atlas Shrugged, please come forth and ask the question. Ask this little child the question. Information in the book. Because I bet you anything, this child has not read the book. Now, there was an interesting podcast, or whatever you want to call it, by Tom Woods, who had Robert Murphy on. And what they discovered was most of the people who read, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Thomas Piketty's book. I think it was Thomas Piketty's book. Most people who bought the book only read the first 20 pages. I think it was the audio file, the audio book, the ebook. Most people only read 20 pages. Now, we can see clearly that the books that you have picked up look as if they've never been touched. All you've done is stuck at a bookmark and nearer the end of it. Now, here's a book I have. You can see the sort of endings and curves and all the rest of it. Because, you see, I've been reading. We can even see the creases. Your book looks brand new. You've probably never read the book in your life. So, just because you bought several books, it doesn't mean to say that, oh, you read them. So, You're lucky that I know nothing about Atlas Shrugged. However, for people who have read Atlas Shrugged, I'll ask them to question you, because then we can see that you've never read a damn thing. It'll put you on the spot. It will. It'll force you, it'll pressure you to go away and read that book. And the thing is, no one can take you seriously. You don't even understand supply and demand, for Christ's sakes. That's how laughable you are.
It makes you easier to debunk.
I'm easy to debunk. Look, son, I made a fool out of you on theory and practice. I made a complete fool out of you, okay? You haven't even got back to me on that. How can anyone take you seriously when you think that theory can be more important than practice? If anyone actually takes you seriously on that, they themselves have a severe lack of intelligence. But not only did I tear the arse out of you on that issue, I took your entire argument on supply and demand and tore you apart. Your argument was something about, oh, the Lamborghini car. Oh, the capitalist has got the Lamborghini car and you haven't, and you can't afford it because, you know, in other words, you don't understand that when a company mass produces something, the more that's produced, the more the cost drives down. You couldn't even comprehend that. I don't even need to go further on that issue. So, to say that I'm easy to debunk is nonsense. You have not came back with a response on the theory and practice, and you have not came back with a response directly to the supply and demand argument. And I'm not going to let you swerve past it. If you want to be taken seriously, you will challenge me on that. But I know for a fact that you won't.
Because if we read the manuals of the Nazis, or their main manual, their blueprint, Mein Kampf, Hitler's autobiography, we see that Hitler purposely wanted to deceive the left in order to disband them and whatnot. And before Nazi Germany, the swastika was viewed as a symbol of peace and whatnot, and goodwill.
You missed the actual point. It doesn't matter whether the symbol of the swastika was something meaning peaceful and was something good. The point was, the Soviet Union itself used it, and so did Nazi Germany. But, you know, that's not the most important issue. It's not the most important issue. It's not saying this is the reason why, you know, they were socialist. What you ignored was the very coin, the German coin, with a bloody stamped bloody hammer and sickle on it. Do you even know what the symbol of the hammer and sickle is? Or are you just going to ignore the fact that a German coin has a hammer and sickle on it? Let me guess you're going to do that. Well, here's the laughable thing. Here's the new British Union. Here's the new British Union. Do you know who these guys are? Do you actually know who these guys are? These are open fascists. These are fascists in Britain who are proud to be fascist. Yeah? What's this page down here? What does that say? What does that say? This is an open fascist movement. Let me click on this. Oh, look. Oh, what a bloody surprise. Oh, they're anti-capitalist. Oh, I wonder why. What did Tom Woods say again? What did Tom Woods say again? Let's hear it.
A lot of times libertarians and supporters of the free market are called fascists, right? It's a stupid, inane remark to make. How could we possibly be fascists when fascism was developed specifically as an alternative to laissez-faire capitalism? That was expressly the goal of the thing.
You see, that's why you cannot take your type seriously. Just, you know, and you talk about Mein Kampf, you've probably never read that book either. Just look, boy, you don't even know anything. That's it.